city. For folks who ain't familiar with the term charge ahead, well, this barn brings a whole new meaning. Hours spent training to be the best, to really show what it means to be a Minotauro. Folks, this is where hockey happens.
Tauros, the second Central Cup in franchise history.
And that's how it is now. You better get on the dance floor now. Get on the rhythm now. I'ma say,
And can you hear anything? No? I can't hear nothing. So
Test. Plug into those two.
And welcome inside the Mesa Arena. It's Tauros hockey on a Thursday night. Puck is down and we are underway. Away we go. Tauros control off the draw. This one fed into the Bobcat zone. Anderson out of his net will fling it to the far side corner. Coin pressures. Puck's lost for a brief moment. Picked up near side by the Bobcats in their own territory. He's sent back around the net. Bobcats work out of their own zone. A coin pressures far wall as Bobcats work this out in the neutral zone and kick to the near side to Spencer. Spencer carries it across the line. Will clear it behind the Bobcat net. Ohannesson picks it up. Ohannesson will throw it off the near side while Perot tries a shot. That one chopped up through a line of...
Good to see Small get up. He is obviously not thrilled with the player who hit him. That was Ian Engel.
Bobcats working out of their own zone. They'll kick this in the neutral zone. Kren picks it up near side. He'll carry it across the blue line. Throw it behind the net of Toro goaltender Lucas Fedin. As this is worked near side to Rafalski. Rafalski will bring it back around the net to the far side to Sipniewski. Sipniewski will throw it back around. Rafalski around the near side. Toros pick this up. Perot will give it to Small. Small gets a hit laid on him, so he's forced just to leave it. Toros pick this one up and send it back out of the neutral zone. Bobcats intercept that one and clear it back. Back out of the neutral zone. Bobcats intercept that one and clear it back. Toros will clear this one the distance for an icing. Icings are brought to you by Monarch's Finest Collision Center. Edward Neiman and Ken Oda along for the call. Thursday night hockey inside the Mesa Arena. Bobcats coming to this one 11-0. Toros coming off a weekend sweep over the North Iowa Bulls with a 6-3 record.
They've waved off the icing. As we take a look at the goaltending matchup, Lucas Sweden in net for the Toros, Thomas Anderson for the Bobcats. We talked about it during the Farmers Union pregame show, Edward. Expected well defended and even better goaltending matchup as we get our first look at the Bobcats tonight.
Tomas Anderson got the Bobcats their first shutout of the year on Saturday against Watertown. So all things working right here so far this season for the Bobcats. They work this in neutral zone. It's thrown back around the net by Kopetsky. Dress will pick this up for the Toros, working along the near side boards. Funk was in on it. Kopetsky, though, battling near side with Dress as the Toros will send another one in there. 2-on-2 here along the boards. Toros will come up with it, but nice job there by Sandvin to keep this in the offensive zone for Bismarck. Mahler will hack at it along the far side boards. He'll send it back on the neutral zone. This one picked up by Edwards. Edwards working across the blue line, loses the handle. Dress will try to fire one in on net, tip through traffic. Puck will ring around the net, be picked up by the Bobcats and sent back on the neutral zone and eventually cleared.
Bobcats had too many on the ice for a moment there. A player jumped out of the bench. Surprised with everyone in the neutral zone. That's usually when you see it get called the most.
Puck worked along the far side boards. Marvin Cordes in there for the Toros. Trotta will send it to the far side point. Bismarck keeping this in the offensive zone. Reed will cross-ice pass it to Engel. Engel will fire one. That will be up and out of play for a whistle. 17-17 to go here, first period of play.
Okay, start, but getting outshot 2-0 here early, Edward. I'd like to see a little bit more offensive pressure. Light crowd, we knew it would be on a Thursday night. Weeknights hard with school and whatnot.
Yeah.
Even my daughter, who usually works the camera for us, is not here.
Toros pick it up out of their own zone. They'll skate into neutral. It's Marvin Cordes. He'll dump it behind the Bobcat net. It's Ramirez in on the far side corner trying to get a handle on it. They'll battle in the far side corner. Both teams in on this one. It's pinned up against the boards for a brief moment. Bobcats will turn up with the loose puck. They'll skate this into neutral. That's Kyle Dolly. He'll fire one on and off the pad of Svedina. And a rebound shot also on net. Svedina right off the pad, and another shot soaked up and saved by Svedina. Few early looks in front of the Toro net.
He looks locked in. He didn't get a lot of help there, but several good chances for the Bobcats. Every single one of them died on the pads of Lucas Svedin.
Entering this matchup, Svedin with a 1.342 goals against average, 4-2 so far. Another solid start to the year for one of the Toro returners. He was an important piece of this Central Cup run last year for the Toros. Draw comes out to his right. Small was tied up on the draw, so Bismarck will work free out of it. Sent to the near side corner, eventually flung around the Toro net. Rafalski will send it to the far side point as Bannister tried to get a shot that was tipped.
That's from last year's team.
Toros pick this one up. Uhala works in the neutral zone. He'll skate up ice across the blue line, send it to Batten. Batten near side corner. Uhala will get a stick on it. Batten couldn't handle that one, so both teams go back and forth here. A couple turnovers each way. Toros still working the offensive zone. O'Hannison rings it around the Bobcat net. Uhala meets that one against the far side boards.
He had Mahler at the point wide open.
Batten will chase after a freed puck. Sipniewski, though, picks it up. Send this into the neutral zone to Kim. Kim will be working against a Mahler who continues to chop at the puck, and his good defense eventually gets rewarded as Kim would hit the ice. Toros pick it up for a brief moment. Lato, though, with a shot that goes just wide left of the net. Toros will send it back out of the neutral zone. 14:42 to go, first period of play. Bobcats shot on goal advantage, 5-0 so far. Toros still looking to put one on net. Funk hacks it along the far side boards. Toros in the offensive zone. Dress will chase the puck behind the far side net. Big collision behind the Bobcat net. Bismarck, though, will eventually handle it and clear it back up ice. This will go for an icing.
It's a good hit by Dress. That was a big part of why he was brought in. Not just 3 goals in 6 games with Amarillo, but a big boy for the Toros. Speaking of big, Lucas Sweden was big against the Bobcats last year. In the first 3 starts against them, 3-0-0, only 3 goals allowed, a .976 save percentage, because one of those games, a 9-5 went to overtime, a .976 goals against average. He did give up 5 to them in the last game of the regular season, 5 goals on 28 shots, but that was a game that meant nothing in the standings, and the Toros had several AP players in the lineup. I think the 5 he gave up, it was less on Lucas and more on the Bobcats playing their full lineup, and the Toros playing a lot of guys who ended up not being NAHL players down the stretch.
Bismarck were working the offensive zone. High pass goes just wide. Evan Hunter tries to pick that one up along the near sideboards. Toros do a nice job to work it back out of the neutral zone. Bismarck will have to reset angle. Fire went off the net. Lato tried to get a stick on it just off the outstretch stick, so the Toros pick it up in their own defensive zone. Ramirez works far ice to Nichols. Nichols looks for Owens across the blue line. Owens can't quite get to that one, so Bismarck will work from their own defensive zone, clear it out, but Perot from the neutral zone will send it back into the offensive zone. Back and forth we go here, 13-21. Bismarck sending it back into the Toro defensive zone. Perot will fling it on net. Anderson will soak that one up and save it.
He didn't want to hold on to that. It bounced around in his pads. He was trying to catch it and play it, and it just didn't do what he wanted it to do.
So it'll mean an offensive zone draw for the Toros. Just one shot on net. Draw is going to come to Anderson's left side. Small's out there with Perot, Spencer, Acoina, and Gibbs. Small in on the draw for the Toros. Gaspar out there for Bismarck. He'll win it. So Bobcats work out of their own zone behind the net. Good defense by Acoin to break up a pass that was intended to go down the ice. So both teams will work up against the near side corner boards. Bismarck will free this one up. Vig works back on a neutral zone. Give it to Gaspar. Gaspar has a hard time handling this one, so the puck will roll back into the Bismarck defensive zone. Pressure brought by Spencer. As it's worked to the far side boards to Vig. Vig will give it to Bannister. Bannister looks near side to Dahl. Dahl will fire it off the near side glass. So the puck will bounce back out of neutral zone. Tauros will pick this one up as they'll reset and eventually just clear this one in. That will cross the goal line and go for an icing. Icing's once again brought to you by Minot's Finest Collision Center.
Mackley Morelli not in the lineup for the Tauros tonight. It would have been interesting had he been Charlie Vig for the Bobcats, a Bismarck High product. Mackley Morelli for the Tauros, a Minot High product. It'll also be interesting to see if either or both stick with their junior team for the season or if they end up going back to play North Dakota High School.
Draw comes out to Svedin's right side. Bismarck will work off the draw. The offensive zone, a coin hacks at a puck along the far side boards. It's thrown back around to the near side as Perot will send it back out in the neutral zone. Bismarck controls for a brief moment. Tauros work it back into the Bobcat defensive zone. So the Bobcats will eventually dump this one in. Gives along the back of the Toro net, will backhand one off the glass. That one goes high up into the air, settled down, and
hand pass whistled.
Get a whistle.
Zane Rowan, the guilty party.
Draw back out of the neutral zone. Yuhala's out there for the Tauros, along with O'Hannison, Mahler, and Batten. This Yuhala-O'Hannison line with a lot of production for the Tauros. Talk about the offensive breakout for the Tauros last weekend in Mason City. 13 goals. A special team started to click as well as Bismarck will send one in on net. Svedin will glove and hold that one for whistle. 11:50 to go. So another Toro defensive zone draw.
Shots 6-1 in favor of the Bobcats. That is, well, less than ideal. But other than that one scramble, that was 3 of their shots.
Yeah.
It's been pretty even. And Lucas has been up to the challenge.
Yuhala out on the draw for the Tauros. He'll hit the ice. Puck sent to the far side boards. Yuhala will get back up and pick this one up back into the neutral zone. Puck is sent down to the near side. Yuhala with a nice takeaway here. He'll cross the blue line, working to the offensive zone. Batten in on the help. He'll skate into the near side corner. Try to center one in. Bismarck takes this one away and works it back out of the neutral zone. Kim will cross the blue line to the offensive zone. He's being worked at by James. James will force Kim to take it back around the net, far side corner. This one's freed up and flung to the far side. Tauros control back out of the neutral zone. As Bismarck will control and clear it and go for a change. Tauros will reset. Batten works near side. Will throw it into the offensive zone. Edwards will chase after this one. Bucks work to the near side to Hunter. Hunter looking cross ice to Lato. Lato wasn't in position to get a hold of that one, so Tauros will dump it in for the neutral zone. Bismarck controls, rings it around the net to the near side. It's picked up by Hunter. Hunter along the near side as Bobcats will enter the offensive zone halfway through first period of play. Still scoreless here at the Mesa Arena. Tauros working to the far side. Puck's hacked a few times later. Will pick it up for the Bobcats. Neutral zone. He'll gain the line across. Send it to the far side. His big hit there is laid in by Edwards. Skopetsky's forced to bring it behind the Toro net. Hunter works to the near side corner. Still pick it up and send it around to Lato. Gibbs, though, pins Lato against the board, so Lato can't get a hold of that one. Tauros get a stick on it and chip it high up into the air, back into the neutral zone, and eventually back into the Bobcat zone. Bobcats resetting. Bannister will stand behind his own net, send it out to Vig. Vig will carry it into the offensive zone. Good takeaway by the Tauros. Marvin Cordes will skate back across the blue line. Brief opportunity there for the Tauros. Heads up play by Marvin Cordes to intercept that one in the neutral zone. Just couldn't quite get his footing. He tried to cross the blue line high. Pass thrown in the offensive zone by Hagstrom. Bismarck will find this one in the far side corner, work it back out of neutral zone. Dahl chases after one. Good hustle by Hagstrom to get a hold of that one. He'll fire it off the glass into the offensive zone. Puck slowly rolls towards the net of Anderson. Anderson will tip it back out. Marvin Cordes with a nice offensive zone takeaway here for the Tauros. Slings it off the glass. Hagstrom with a one-timer that's gloved and held by Anderson for a whistle with 9:07 to go.
We talked about the goaltending matchup. Thomas Anderson, third in the league in save percentage, .945.8.